Welcome to my new podcast, Animation Infestation. This is my first episode, and as your host, we'll be diving into my weird cartoon opinions. If you couldn't guess by that little sound effect, today we're going to be talking about a very exciting cartoon, specifically Infinity Train. It's easily one of the best cartoons that spawned from the 2010s, and I've just never seen anything quite like it. And as you probably already know, we got some exciting Infinity Train news to talk about. Book 4 of Infinity Train has officially been confirmed, and let me just say, this is great. I honestly didn't think this was going to happen. I had a lot of sources that told me that the team behind Infinity Train was pretty much over with it. Cartoon Network didn't want to renew it. But then, as it seemed all things were lost, Cartoon Network did. And so here we are, and we're about to get another season of this amazing show. But this good news still comes with some bad news. This season will be the final season. For sure this time. And yeah, that's pretty sad, but this was still an amazing show with a great run, and there's no doubt that we'll remember it forever. Now, the next season will be coming out in about a week and a half, and I have a few things I want to say before it comes out. So, first off, I would actually be okay with this show ending right now, after season 4, if it wasn't for one thing. Season 3 set up an arc for Hazel and Amelia perfectly, and I really thought that that's what book 4 was going to focus on, but after seeing the trailer, it just doesn't seem that way. Which, like I said, I'd be perfectly fine with this being the last season if it was about Amelia and Hazel. Because the first season was all about, Amelia was the villain, and I just feel like her finally having a proper redemption arc would be a great way to close the show out. But I don't think we're going to get that. Which, that's sad, but let's move on to talking about the other things we've seen in the trailer, which, to be fair, it is looking pretty cool. So one thing I think is this looks like we're going to have a really strong cast of characters. So we have two best friends, Ryan and Minji, who end up in the train, and they seem to be aspiring musicians, and it seems like their relationship is starting to fall apart, and this could play out really interestingly, because I'd say the strongest cast of characters we've had was book 2, because Jesse and Lake just played off of each other really well, and they really helped each other grow. Book 1, I really like 1-1, Atticus, and Tulip, but that was really more of Tulip's journey, and I don't feel like the group worked quite as well together. And then book 3, the cast of characters, it was really interesting to watch, but it felt more like a dysfunctional family, and they did end up, Simon did end up killing Tuba, so that wasn't that great. But as for book 4, this could be good. Obviously, there are going to be a lot of deep moments between the two main characters, because, they're best friends, but their friendship seems to be crumbling, which I no doubt will lead to a lot of interesting moments. But also, the denizen they seem to be traveling with, this floating magical bell that, if I'm not wrong, is named Kez. I love her. She's just amazing. I think she'll definitely be the funniest denizen since, Atticus. And just overall, I think this has the potential to be even a stronger cast of characters than book 2, which I think will be pretty great. So, also, I think this season could have, based on the trailer, what I'm excited for is the season could have some more mystery. Like, Book 2 was a great season, but it didn't really have that mystery element that Book 1 had. And Book 3 had some of it, and it definitely kept me on the edge of my seat. And I'm glad to say that Book 4 will probably at least have a little more. Because first off, obviously, the Ryan and Minji arriving on the train together, that's a first time thing. I don't know if that's like the first time that two people arrived on the train at the same time. I don't know if that's gonna become a mystery. Who knows? But it could be interesting. More importantly, I find it weird how they're in the conductor uniforms that we saw Emilia in Book 3. I don't know what's going on with that. That could be part of a mystery. That's what I'm thinking. I don't think this has been confirmed, but I've heard some people say that they think Book 4 takes place in the past, like the 80s or 90s. So before Book 1 through 3, which is interesting. So I'm thinking maybe passengers back then just wore conductor uniforms. Honestly, I don't really know, but I'm definitely intrigued. And also, the steward, there was a little part of the trailer where it showed the steward up to something, and I've kind of got a theory. So maybe 1-1 decided, obviously, to bring them on the train together for them to work out their problems, but also, put them in the conductor uniforms and send them out on a mission to fix the steward, because this takes place before Book 1 through 3, probably, and the steward seems to be up to something. And before Book 1 through 3, the steward was just 1-1's robot vessel, so it shouldn't be doing anything bad. So maybe it's malfunctioning, and Ryan, Minji, and Kez have to go fix it. But honestly, I don't really know. So yeah, I'm definitely very interested in this season. I don't know if there's going to be a lot of action like there was in the last couple seasons, but it looks pretty good. Obviously, I'm very disappointed that, Hazel and Emilia aren't going to close out their arc. I have heard some people say they think there's going to be an Infinity Train movie at some point, but each season of Infinity Train is already about the length of a movie. So if they wanted to, I don't know, I don't think the movie's going to happen, because they could have just made a Book 5 that closes out Hazel's and Emilia's arc. But still, I just find it really weird that it was set up so perfectly, in episode 8 or 9, I think, of Book 3, when Hazel ran off with Emilia and left Grace. That I just don't know why it's not Book 4 about them. And I am sad that it's not about them, but, maybe there's a reason. Who knows? But in the end, all I can say is I'm so glad there's going to be a 4th season of this. We thought all hope was lost, but nope. The Infinity Train crew pulled through, and they're delivering us one final adventure. But it is sad that it's going to go. Especially because Owen Dennis actually stated that he wanted about 8 seasons of the show, so this is only about half as much as he actually wanted. And probably only about 10% as much as I wanted. I could have easily watched 40 or 50 seasons of this show. But at this point, there's not much we can do. Rewatching the show over and over again to try and get Cartoon Network to renew it again isn't going to work. So all we can do is appreciate what we got and go on one final adventure on the Infinity Train. later this month. Thanks for watching. You can expect more podcasts from Animation Infestation soon.